All right, we're going to start with Heat Celtics. We've already heard from one of our NBA experts, Dutch Boy Fresh. He's making a move on the Celtics first half. We will get into the Nuggets Clippers game because it's near and dear to my heart. Shy Archie, Jokic over 11.5 rebounds seems too easy. No. Well, we had Ski Prophet joining us on Saturday, and he said that Jokic prop over was too easy. Was that Saturday? I believe that was Saturday. Or last time, I believe that was Friday. Maybe it was Friday. And I was on the over 34.5 points, rebounds, and assists. I cashed with Jokic over 34.5 points, rebounds, assists, but the rebound prop that Ski Prophet gave out cashed much easier. Much easier. Nilo says plus 9.82 units is amazing. It's not really. Last 2 years, I've been double-digit units up, but not much higher than 9.82 units. It's good, but you're not going to be able to raise a family off of being up 9.82 units unless your unit size is $10,000. But thank you for the kind words. Nilo said, I tweeted about Jokic. What's the call over? Well, let's start with this Celtics game, and we'll move into the Nuggets game. East Finals game 1. In the 8 seeding games, the Heat and Celtics had a very similar pace. Heat were 100.69 possessions a game. Celtics were at 101.06. They get into the playoffs, and they start playing hard-nosed basketball. Heat, 97.7 possessions a game. Celtics, 96.04 possessions a game. What they have both been doing, again, at very similar numbers, is taking threes. Heat are taking 37.1 threes a game in the playoffs and hitting at 38%. They're very dangerous from outside. The Celtics are taking 36.3 threes a game and hitting 34.1%. And Jin Rummy says, won't be able to raise your family. Yes, I won't. Shane Schwader says, Heat for show. C-Mac says, under and Heat Celtics. Sonny Griffin says, I like the Celtics, but the Heat has a better bench. There's no doubt about that. And the Celtics bench needs Marcus Smart coming off of it. And they can't do that with Hayward out of the lineup. Let's talk about Boston. They played on Friday. Miami's been idle since September 8th. They've been idle, but they've been in the bubble. So they've been practicing nonstop. This isn't like old times when you're like, man, this team is likely to come out very slow because they've been practicing. And they know how important this is. Jimmy Butler's never been in an Eastern Conference final before or a conference final of any kind. Butler and Dragic have been spectacular, both averaging more than 20 points per game during the playoffs. And now Dragic had a time to rest those aching knees. Bam's been great, 16.2 points, 11.7 boards. He's going to be dynamite in this series. And Tyler Hero, 14.7 points. He's been very good from the perimeter. Shane Schwader says, whoever Jimmy and Iguodala guard going to shut down today. Really? Because Chris Smith says nobody can stop Tatum. And that's the truth. Von Polo says Miami wins in 5. There's Boston Nick joining us. Nasty Nate, Boston Nick, both back in the Celtics. Same with Chris Smith. Dutch Boy Fresh says Kemba is the key in the series for the C's. Miami have no one to guard him. That's true. I mean, if you want someone to try and guard him, it'd be Kendrick Nunn. But I don't know if Kendrick Nunn is going to see the floor because if so bad he's being offensively. THC is RZA says game seriously depends on the 3-point line. Shane Schwader says the Heat have been on fire. Best defense in the East right now. Dennis Garcia says, unlike other series, this one is a game-by-game for me. Antoine Seymour on the Heat money line. Robert Cherry on Heat plus 3.5 and under 212.5. That parlay is at plus 145 for Robert Cherry. And Maceo talking about how deep the Heat are on the wings. Ergo Caustic says an interesting point, says, why would anyone need to guard Kemba? Kemba was not the difference maker in the Celtics. In fact, you know, he was bad in against the Raptors. He was bad in that Raptors series. And Shane Schwader says, yeah, my dude, I bet Tatum goes under today. Dennis Garcia, Miami money line and under 209 in game 1. Don't forget, Dennis Garcia bet the money line every game against the Milwaukee Bucks and absolutely scored. Prince of the City is leaning Heat. And Ravi Patel is the first one to back my lean towards the over. Everybody on the under right now. Almac 8-1 on the money line, plus $692 if you bet $100 on the Heat money line every game. And then Dutch Boy says, okay, don't guard him. No, look, I agree that Kemba is extremely important in this series. Chris Smith says Jimmy can't stick to Tatum. He's too slow. So I'll tell you why my initial lean was towards the over, and also why I haven't bet it yet. And the first reason why I haven't bet it yet is this game one. Hard to bet totals in game one, but I expect this total to keep going down. And we talked about how important the perimeter is going to be. I think these guys are going to be shooting threes out of control. And one thing that hurt the Bucks was they played to the Heat's pace. I think this Celtics team is going to try to run faster. But I thought that about the Raptors, and that's held me off. I thought they were going to start running, and we saw them run in that first game. They had 105 possessions in game one, the Celtics did. And then every other game, it just got lower and slower and slower and slower. This total opened up at 210.5. It's now at 208.5. The Heat open up as 1.5-point dogs. There are a couple 2-point dogs on the board. Dennis Garcia says Raptors paid a lot of attention to Kemba. Wonder if Miami does the same. I think that's a great point, Dennis. I think that's a great point. Brightware says under in both games. Ergo Kostic has Celtics to win East in my virtual pocket, but Heat just looked much better. I hope I'm wrong, though. Shane Schwader is betting the Heat money line. Ravi Patel says Raptors can't shoot, though. Celtics and Heat both shoot. I agree. I agree that these are better shooting teams, especially the Heat. Chris Smith says Kemba going to get his. Dragic can't stop him. I think Kemba's going to get his as well. I think this is a much easier series for Kemba. Let's take a quick look at the player props. And I'm certainly hesitant to take that over at this point. And Dutch Boy Fresh says, who's Duncan Robinson going to guard? Only Hunter on Heat money line and Clips first half. Scooty and Ricky Buck says, oh, that the Stars saved you. Nice job. Nice job, Scooty. Okay. Let's go to player props and see what they're offering up for us. Bam at 14.5 points is being hammered. It's at minus 150 right now. Dragic at 18.5 points is to the under. Because Dragic, I mean, if Marcus Smart defends Dragic, I mean, shut it down. Wow. Tatum at 26.5 points, as Shane Schwader predicted, heavily juiced to the under. Ravi Patel says Tatum is the best player on the court. Nasty Nate says Heat will need Shaq to put the mic down and suit up to win tonight. Chris Smith says Tatum going to win 40. Bleds W likes the first half under. And I actually have more interest in that first half over, but it feels like it's just Ravi and me alone here on an island. MHP on Hero over 2.5 assists. Viper MB says Bam will eat. There's no doubt about that. Bam is going to be able to be just an absolute nuisance. Ben Sports 24/7 says, I know Tatum and Jimmy are going to go off, but bench is going to be the difference maker in these games. Miami bench with Hero leading the way is far more superior. And Von Polo also liking the over. There's just going to be so many threes fired up. That's Nate says Brown and Smart will go off tonight. And I guess if I had a pick between overs, oh, much love, William Dickey. Thank you for being here. If I had a pick between overs, I would take that first half over. Over 105.5. That definitely CK will go over everything. Nilo says, I like first half over because Miami will come out firing. And Coy Moore saying it's 2KS also on the first half over. I like it. And the Celtics are just going to see such a different five in Bam than what they saw in the Raptor series. Bam is so different than Serge and Gasol. Gasol. I wonder if Bam points, rebounds, and assists is a spot here from a player prop scenario. Just take a quick look at what he is. Points, assists, and rebounds. 29.5. So they know he's going to be eaten. 29.5 is high. Jake Monaco says, would you take plus 1,800 for Jamal Murray double-double? Sure, that's a great number. So, yeah, you can put a little bit on it for sure. But I don't – the assist side of it, I don't know. It's lockdown time for the Clippers. And Jamal's so spectacular, he can get his, but Almax says Celtics 9-2 to the first half under, Miami 7-2 to the first half under. I'd stay off that over. Pace is going to be super slow. And the Czar's right. Heat haven't played since last Tuesday. Not sure they come out shooting hot in the first quarter, but this isn't the way we used to see basketball because they've been in the bubble the whole time. It's not like they took a quick trip to Mexico for a couple nights. This is such a tough series. And I'm hesitant, very hesitant to make a move here. Robert Allen, and that was great to see Robert Allen. And I should watch before I judge pace. Odell Beckham said Desire says Odell Beckham took the Heat out boating. Chris Smith says Miami will be cold coming out. I'm not certain of that stuff with the team practicing every day and hanging out with each other every day. Shane Schwader says, who did the Celtics have as a bench? Look, they don't. Sonny Griffin says, don't take game one. Alex Ramirez, Spidey play of the day. Heat +2, Clippers -7.5, Phillies +110, Tigers -110. And Nilo looking at the Tatum double-double. The Heat have been off for a while, but they're playing good basketball. Will that time off hurt them? CK says these are pros. Just because they haven't played in a week doesn't mean they come out cold. I just feel like I'm just alone on an island. And I want to pull the trigger on the Celtics. I just think they're locked in right now. And the Bucks were just out of sorts. And then I would like to go against the trend and take the over. SoCal Reseller says Heat rested. Boston Toronto series was brutal. Heat win today. Shane Schwader saying Bam is going to have a day-to-day. Yeah, but we're not fooling the books there. Jerry, we the best is on Miami. And Intex 2016 says inside the bubble, I haven't had anything else to do but practice. That's why the pace numbers aren't as important because the shooting percentages have gone up. Robert Allen says Celtics win comfortable here. I don't think he'd have a chance. You know, as boring as it may sound, I'm not making a move on Heat Celtics game one. I'm going to watch. And I apologize if that puts you guys to sleep. Let's move on to Nuggets Clippers. I tell you what I am going to do in Nuggets Clippers. And Chris Smith liking that over as well. Dennis Garcia says Jimmy sounds like he wants Boston team total over. My concern is the second half. I guess what I'd want is Celtics first half team total over. And let's see what I'd get on that. they going to give me one yet? All right, let's see what I get on team totals. $53.5 at -115 for the Celtics. What about first quarter? $27.5 for the Celtics at -110. And now Max says, if you're going to bet the first half over, do it in the Denver Clippers game.